Hey guys, this is Goku, and on this channel we talk about poker and ideas that can improve your life. Today we're gonna jump into another GTO trainer session. This is a series where we play GTO spots, and right now we're playing the MP2 Open versus Button Call, a tournament spot on 50 big blind stacks. Quite interesting. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, you can check out the playlist with them, and let's jump right into this session. We're playing 25 hands per episode, so and the goal is to play 500 hands, and we are, I think, something like 300 hands into this one. So let's do this. Pocket sixes on our first hand on an ace 10-10 board. I think we're betting 2.5. Nope, the solver actually checks it here 98% of the time. EV wise, checking is betting a third of the pot is fine, but we can see the solver does it only 1.4% of the time. Now on the 4 of spades we're gonna check. Yeah, we can see the solver actually does some betting here, almost half time. 3 of hearts on the river. I think we're gonna donk bet it here. It's actually better to check, but donk betting is 5% of the strategy. Cool. Tray 4 suited on a king 5-3. We're gonna check it here and fold it. Yeah, I think so. Cool. Ace 9 of hearts on a 9 tray jack. We're betting 2.5. The solver agrees. The villain calls. 6 of diamonds on the turn. We're gonna check. Villain checks behind, and we have a 5 of spades on the river. Is this a donk bet? Let's try it. It is a donk bet. Excellent. We get called by pocket sevens, so that's nice. Pocket jacks on an ace 10-10. We're betting a third of the pot. Checking is also fine. Queen jack on a jack deuce. We're betting 2.5. The villain calls. We hit our queen. I think this is a spot where we check. Yeah, 89% of the time. Villain checks behind. We have a 7 of spades on the river. Is this a donk bet? Or bet 2/3 of the pot? Or a check? Think I'm gonna try and donk bet it here. Betting 2/3 of the pot is better, is the ideal action, but as we can see, donk betting is also very good, and played 41, played even more with a more frequency. 9 jack suited on a 4-7 deuce. Think this is a spot where I bet 2.5 or even 5.5. Okay, so this is a 5.5 kind of spot. Good to know. We have another deuce on the turn. Think I'm gonna check, or should we take a stab at this? We got called on the flop. Yeah, I'm gonna check now. Yeah, we should take a stab at this. Overbet it 82% of the time actually, but we didn't, so we're gonna fold. Ace 6 of hearts on a tray queen deuce is a bet 2.5. Villain calls. We have another 3 of hearts, and we are going to continue betting because we picked up some additional equity. The villain folds. Now we have pocket kings on a king jack 6. I think we're gonna bet 5.5 here. It's not a good idea. EV loss is substantial, but you can see the solver almost never does it here, plays it here like that. It's better to either check or bet a third of the pot. So good to know. Ace queen off on a 5-8-4 is a check and call. Deuce of spades on the turn. We're gonna check again. Villain checks behind. And we have another 8 on the river. And we are dunk betting it here. Nope, should rather check. 99.9% of the time. King queen off on a 10-7 tray. I'm gonna check it or bet 2.5. But since the solver thinks it's a good spot for betting 5.5 and we checked, we're gonna try and check raise for a change. And as we can see, the solver does a fair bit of check raising here with our hand. Check raises 38.2% of the time. There's a deuce of hearts on the turn. I'm gonna check. Now the villain bets a third of the pot, and what do we do here? I think we call this. Yeah, I think we call this. Should actually fold 100% of the time. Okay. That is good to know. Yeah, so the solver doesn't feel any regret getting away from hands like this. We are human, unfortunately, and we do feel this regret, but yeah, we need to memorize that something like this is a clear fold. Should not be calling this ever. But yeah. Ace-9 suited on a deuce 5-9. Maybe this is 5.5. It is. Cool. We get called. We hit our ace. So I think we continue going strong at it. And I would like to overbet it. This is not an overbet. The solver never overbets here. It prefers betting a third of the pot. But our overbet worked. It got the villain to shove, so we're obviously calling. There's a jack on the river. And the villain actually has us beat. He's got 3 of a kind. Set of deuces. Oh wow. Pocket 7s on a 10 tray 4. We're gonna bet 2.5. Checking is better. King on the turn. Maybe this is a spot where we bet with our pocket 7s. It's not. Should be a check. 97.5% of the time. But you got called. We now give up on the hand. Yeah. 7s are probably too good there to bet with them. We have too much showdown equity. We have pocket 8s on a 5-9-5. Maybe this is a check spot. It is. We're check calling with our hand here. Tray on the turn. We're checking. Are we continuing with our hand here? I think so. 66.66% of the time. We're checking again on the king of diamonds on the river. And we lose to a 9, unfortunately. 8-6 on a 9 queen king. We're check folding here. Yep. Pocket deuces on king 6-7. It's bet 2.5. Checks better. We go called. 4 on the turn. We're checking. Villain checks behind. We've got a 9 of hearts on the river. We're checking again. And we're folding. Well, we should actually be calling here 65% of the time. Just folding 34% of the time. Pocket deuces on such a dry board. Interesting. Let's go to the next one. We've got ace king suited on a 6-5 tray. We're checking it here. 2 diamonds. Villain checks behind. 6 on the turn. We're checking again. Now the solver does a fair bit of betting, 40%. And we have a 5 of clubs on the river. We're gonna check for the 3rd time. And the villain checks behind. Pocket sixes on queen jack 4 is a bet 2.5. It's not. Should be a check 96% of the time. Interesting. We're gonna check now on the 9 of diamonds. Villain checks behind. And there's another queen on the river with a diamond. So I think we're checking it. Checking is fine. Overbetting is the ideal action. Play 34% of the time. Should we raise it here? I think we should, right? Yeah, but as we can see, it's a very rare play. Just 0.16% of the time. But it is actually the ideal action. Cool. And the villain folded. 5-4 of spades on a queen 5-6 with 2 clubs. We're gonna check. And call. As we can see, betting 2.5 was also good. Oh, this is a good check raise spot, actually. Would be even better with the turn that we hit. Should we ever lead at this? Maybe. Maybe we should. Let's try overbetting here. We shouldn't. Should rather be checking 96% of the time. But oh well. We went with the bluff, and now the river blanks. So we're gonna shove. But we're not gonna know, unfortunately, what happens, because the solver never plays it like this. But the villain folds, so at least we got that. King queen off on a 6-5 king is a bet 2.5. The villain calls. We have a 4 of clubs on the turn. I think we continue betting most of the time, but let's check for a change. Okay, perfect. We actually got this check right. And I think we're just check calling. Or should we be raising? Nope. We should never be raising here. 10 of spades on the river. And now what do we do? Do we donk bet it? Do we bet 2/3? Or do we check? I feel like betting 2/3 here. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. We should not be doing that. Checking is much, much better. And we should be checking here always, pretty much. But we bet the villain re-raises, so we're gonna call just to see what he has, because this hand doesn't matter anymore. And the villain's got the flush. Yep. Pocket nines on 6 for jack. We're gonna bet 2.5 and get raised to 9.5. We are going to call this off. Yeah. King on the turn. Gonna check. Now the villain bets a third of the pot. Do we stay in this pot or do we fold? I think we fold. 67% of the time. Okay. 5-6 of clubs on a tray 4-4. I think this is a bet 2.5. It is. We get called. Another tray on the turn. I think we're gonna check now. Betting is also fine, 45% of the time. Villain checks behind. We have a jack on the river. And I think now we have to bet. And should we bet? How much should we bet? Let's try dunk betting. It is a dunk bet 92% of the time. And we get called by pocket fives. That's fine. Ace tray off, ace tray suited on a 5 tray jack is a bet 2.5 or a check. We get called. 10 of clubs on the turn. We're gonna check. Oh, the solver likes to continue betting here. 45% of the time. And there's a queen of diamonds on the river. We're going to check. And unfortunately we lose to 7-5 suited. Ace 6 on a 9 queen queen is a check. And call or fold? I think it's a fold, right? Yeah. Pocket queens on a 9 deuce tray is a bet 2.5 or a check or a bet 5.5. Pretty much similar frequencies. There's a 10 on the turn. Gonna continue betting, bet 8. Solver agrees with this line. You get called. And there's a 7 of clubs on the river. And what do we do now? I think we shove it. Nope. We should rather bet, don't bet it here. 87% of the time. So I assume the remainder 13% of the time we're betting 2/3 of the pot. Okay. Ace king off on a deuce 7-4 is a bet 2.5 or a check. We get called. 9 of hearts on the turn. We're gonna check now. Villain checks behind. And we have a 10 of diamonds on the river. We're checking again. And we lose to a 10-8. Okay, perfect. We've played our 25 hands. So let's exit the session. Well, the overall EV loss is average, I would say. We've had a couple of hands, yeah, this one, and this one, where we lost over 1 BB. Also, this one was close to losing 1 BB of EV loss. So, not the greatest session, but not the worst either. As we can see, yeah, Our frequencies were quite off here. Again, we're betting or raising too frequently. We should be checking or calling more. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you stayed this long, please leave a comment. Just write GTO. Like this video, subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this. And I would love to see you guys in the next one. Also, be sure to check out the playlist with this spot, this particular one, MP2 open versus bottom call, to see all the previous sessions. Yeah, thanks so much. See you in the next one. Bye. You want to learn how to play poker? Great. You have little or no experience playing poker? No problem. Do you want to learn the fundamentals, the most basic principles that allow you to easily win money when playing with casual players? That's perfect, because this course was created specifically for people like you. My name is Mateusz, I've played over 3 million hands of No Limit Texas Hold'em, and I'd like to teach you how to play poker like a pro. What you will learn in this course are the fundamentals, the ABC of poker condensed into 21 short and easily digestible lectures. In each lecture, you will learn a different concept which you can test out and practice immediately after watching. Well, do you want to become a good poker player? Do you want to be able to beat recreational players easily? Do you want to have a great time winning at your local home games? Great! Get this course now and start winning at poker.